Hey guys, how are you all? So today once again my voiceover is too much, let's see. Yoongi, you will go to no if you don't listen me. Mrs. Min, no, you have to listen us. Yoongi, I want of this family and you know well. Yoongi sign Jimin. Why it's so important, Auntie? We think about our family, but not that. Mrs. Min, this is not your. You are just here for give us. If you don't, I do this second, she said, and Yoongi looked at his mom. Jimin, okay then, do, he said, and go from there. Mrs. Min, you see how he's speaking? Yoongi, what you said, mom? How can you do this? Mrs. Min, so what? It's not for me, also. You know well, you just have 1 week. Think about this, Yoongi, and now I know what I have to do, he said, and go from there. Mrs. Min's sister, relax, relax. Mrs. Min, tomorrow. Mrs. Min's sister nodded. Okay, so Rohan is Yoongi younger brother. He got first and go London. He is there from a long time now. He is coming back. He have a and a small is a boy. That's why Mrs. Min Azan. Oye, oye Azan. Hmm. Jimin sit on the bed. He saw when Yoongi come. He see Jimin and he start laughing. Jimin look at him and he make a pouch. Yoongi, hey, what happened with you? He sits beside him. Jimin, what is her logic? Yoongi, like seriously? Yoongi, oh, Jimin, I said you many times, don't focus on this. You just focus on your studies. Jimin, how can this, Yoongi? Like seriously, they want Yoongi, what we said here. Well, you take this as may mom wish come true soon. Jimin, Yoongi, I don't have any problem to be. Even I feel happy, but they want. That's the logic. And Yoongi, think if I become and then Jimin Yoongi, then she will be my princess. I don't care what's it. Jimin here, she will be. He said, then Jimin nodded his sign. In real life, Jimin, thank God you don't think like them. Think like Yoongi. If by any chance I do, then what you do, huh? Jimin, I change you. I know. Yoongi, oh, really? Then I would just see you how you do. Jimin to me, he said, and Yoongi chuckled. Jimin, Yoongi, I want to meet mom, dad. Yoongi, you can, but I am thinking we go on dinner today. Now, choice is yours. Jimin, I meet them later. We go on dinner. You know, I have to do shopping also. Yoongi, okay, first we go to do shopping and then on dinner. Jimin, okay, I go and get ready. Yoongi, we go now. He see the time, it's almost 6. Jimin, yeah, it's take time to do shopping. Yoongi, oh, okay, go get ready. I am waiting for you downstairs. Jimin, alright, here one. Yoongi, hey, be careful, he said, and go to his room. Yoongi is in the living room. Mrs. Min, your brother is coming tomorrow. Yoongi, oh really? That's good. Mrs. Min, they are coming to meet Jimin. Yoongi, okay. Jimin, come downstairs. He is looking so beautiful. Mrs. Min, see him. Yoongi, mom, we are going out. We come soon. Mrs. Min, where are you going? You know, Jimin don't go outside before 3 months. Uh, for 3 months. Yoongi, but last night you were ready to take him for shopping, right? He said, and Mrs. Min becomes silent. Yoongi, come. He holds Jimin's hand and take him. Mrs. Min's sister, he's really become Mrs. Min now. I know what I have to do. She said and go from there. Mrs. Min's sister, Hannah, you are here for using phone. Mrs. Hannah, mom, please, huh? He's Mrs. Min's sister. He's really Hannah. I know. I know how much. Mrs. Min's sister, at least try. She said, and she sighed. Hannah, all right, I try. For today, let them enjoy. She said, and go, Mrs. Min's sister. I have to do something, and I know my work well. What I have to do, she said while drinking coffee. Yoongi sit on the Yoongi sit on the couch. He's watching Jimin. It's almost 1 hour. They are here, and Jimin don't spell something. Still now, he is so confused. He looked at Yoongi. Jimin, Yoongi, come here. Help me. Yoongi, buy whatever you want, Jimin. Don't think too much, he said, and looked at Yoongi with his Jimin, you come or not? Yoongi sighed and she went to him. Jimin, now help me, he said, and Yoongi see him. He stand there while folding his hand. Jimin, don't me, Yoongi, help me. Yoongi, you choose that dress. Jimin shocked. He looked at him. He don't know what he said here. Jimin, go and sit. I don't want your help. I can do this by myself. Yoongi, no, now I will help you. Wait, he said and started to see the dresses. Jimin smiled to see him. Jimin smiled to see him. And seeing him, Yoongi like almost 8 to 9 dresses. Yoongi, this is good. Jimin, Yoongi, that much? I don't want this. Yoongi, wait, it's so good. It's looking good on you and black. It's also look good, white. No, not white. If you and purple, he said, and Jimin chuckled to see him what he is doing. Jimin, such a you are. Yoongi, you want to see? And Jimin, Yoongi, please, huh? Yoongi, you don't do. Jimin, thanks. Now come. He held his hand and they do the shopping. Yoongi paid the bill and now they go for dinner. यार एक तो इस टाइम दा वॉइस ओवर ऊपर जो टेक्स्ट खत्म हो जाए या फजूल बोलना हो इरिटेशन मेरा पूरा 10 मिनट का वॉइस ओवर हो गया घंटे का वॉइस ओवर जो 10 मिनट था मेरा वॉइस ओवर हो गया like seriously 2 pictures are left 2 pictures and it's 128 sorry okay, so let's start They come for dinner. Jimin see the restaurant. Jimin Yoongi, this is the restaurant. Yoongi, where we meet first time. Jimin, yes. They sit on their chairs. Yoongi, I decide whenever we come for dinner, we come here and we always sit here. Jimin, huh, really? Why? Yoongi, this is our memories, Jimin, and I am so glad I come to I come to meet you on that day. Otherwise, I decide to sit Jimin same here. Well, Yoongi, that would be the best decision I do in my life. He is saying, and Jimin is feeling himself the most luckiest person of the earth now. Soon waiter come, they give their order, and he go. Both are talking randomly, but Jimin is feeling like Jimin see he show him the ring. Yoongi, oh, this ring. Jimin, you remember? Yoongi, of course I do. Yoongi, of course, I do. I for my but I give you, he said, and Jimin smiled. Yoongi, just kidding. Jimin, if you have any even in past, tell me. Yoongi, no, I don't had. You can trust me. Jimin, okay, you said, I believe. Someone put hand on his shoulder. Jimin, he turned and see Jungkook. His sign in real life. Jimin, Jungkook, you. He stand up and Jungkook him. Yoongi see, of course, he is feeling. Jimin, what a pleasant surprise you are here. Jungkook, same here. Jimin, you are here with Jyotaeyang. Jungkook, hope so. I am, but I am here with my friends. Even we do dinner and now going. I suddenly see you with someone, so I thought you may don't you. So I come here to see you. So I come here to see you and think to meet you also. If there's one line, I cover the text. Jimin chuckle. Jimin, you don't come on my and Yoongi. He's Jungkook Taeyang. I mentioned on that day. Yoongi, nice to meet you. Jungkook, me too. So I you see you soon, Jimin. Jimin, come sit with us for some time, he said, and Yoongi looked at him with his eyes. He said, huh? Jungkook, no, I am going. Taeyang is waiting for me. See you soon, bye. Jimin, alright, bye. Take care. And he go. Jimin sit on the chair. He is so happy to meet Jungkook. Jimin looked at Yoongi. Jimin, Yoongi, His voice is, Jimin, what happened? Why? You were so silent. Yoongi, you talk with your friend, he said, and Jimin became confused. Jimin, we meet after a long time. Yoongi, yeah, then you call him. He said here. He said and here Jimin realized. He started laughing. Jimin, you are Yoongi. Yoongi, what? I am not. Jimin, no. I know you are. Yoongi, Jimin, don't. Jimin, okay, I don't. But you are. He said, and Yoongi signed. Their order come. Jimin is making fun, and they do the dinner happily. Yoongi is happy. Jimin is laughing. Hmm. Jimin and Yoongi. Jimin and Yoongi come out from the restaurant. Yoongi, oh, I think I forget my mobile. You stay here. I come in some minutes, he said, and he go. Jimin stand there. He is waiting for Yoongi when 2 to 3 comes. They are from the same They are same from the restaurant. Jimin didn't look at them. He turned and see Yoongi come or not. Boy, what? Waiting for someone, he said, and Jimin just were to look how he's you, he said, and the other two start laughing. The one go and Jimin, what are you doing, huh? He said while trying to, you know who I am? He said, but Jimin, don't said anything. The other one come, Jimin. Everyone stand there watching the no one come. The other one come. They just see the drama, nothing else. This is what by the way people do. Huh. So there and he about to when someone holds his hand. What? Hey, what are you doing? It's good if you go, he said. But then he on the when he feel Jimin look at the person. Look at the person. His eyes turn. How much is right now? He know. Yoongi, the other one, within 10 minutes, they and Jimin. Yoongi's turn. He see Jimin. He see Jimin. Yoongi turn. He see Jimin. He is at himself. Why he go? Why he leave Jimin like this? He take Jimin with him. Yoongi, you okay, Jimin? Jimin speaks something, but his eyes widen when he see the bird stand and take the Jimin Yoongi and Yoongi Jimin. He start to see Jimin and their one. It's Yoongi start to see Jimin. That's why this happens. Otherwise, they go. It's not possible. Well, let's start the next text. Your unit sleepy. Okay, let's start the next text. The three of them run. Yoongi, Jimin, Jimin, you okay? Jimin nodded. Jimin, I am okay. Yoongi, see the is coming. Yoongi, let's go, he said, and Jimin didn't say anything. Within 10 minutes, he completed a 30 minutes journey in 10 minutes. They are doing Jimin and here Yoongi. Let's see the next text. Jimin sit on the bed. They just come home now. Yoongi is feeling so. Yoongi sit in front of Jimin. Yoongi, you okay, Jimin? Jimin, I was so. Yoongi, thank God you come. Yoongi, what I do while coming here? I don't you. Jimin, hey, I am fine. It's okay. It's just a small. Yoongi, why you do this, huh? Jimin, or what I do? I let him. You, Yoongi, it's okay, Jimin. But look at you. Jimin, I am fine. Yoongi, see, you are about me. What you think? I let this happen, huh? Then I am about you. Yoongi, sign Yoongi. If you feel honored, tell me. Jimin, what you do? Yoongi, of course, I give you. Jimin, you just me. It's enough, he said, and that Yoongi, oh, Jimin, I remember something. Jimin, what? Yoongi, Rohan is coming tomorrow with his family. With his family. Jimin, uh-huh. Really? Yoongi, yeah, mom, tell me. Jimin, it's mean tomorrow I have to wake up early. Yoongi, no, you don't. You take rest. I see you are already Jimin, but Yoongi, you know, auntie. And I don't want, she said something. And I don't want, she said something. You know her. Yoongi, hey, it's okay. When I am here, why you are thinking about this? Jimin, you go office. Yoongi, like, I don't. Jimin, Yoongi, don't speak things, please. He said, and make a pouch. Yoongi spout. Yoongi, okay, now take some rest. Jimin, He closed his eyes and soon both fell in sleep. Peacefully the next day, Yoongi wake up. He sees Jimin is not in the room, and he know where Jimin go. He fresh up. He is finding his watch when Jimin come in the room. Jimin, Azan, where Azan? ये देख रहे. Hmm. Wake up. You wake up. Good morning. But he don't got any response. Jimin, Yoongi. He went to him. Yoongi don't look at him. Jimin, hey, you are at me, he said, and Yoongi find his watch. Jimin, the watch from him. Jimin, you are at me, why? Yoongi, give me my watch back. Give me my watch back. Jimin, no, I don't. First tell me what happened. Yoongi, Jimin, give me my watch back. Jimin, no, I don't. Tell me na. He said, and Jimin, tell me, Mr. Min, what happened? Yoongi, nothing. Give me my watch. Jimin, if I don't, he said, and Yoongi stays silent for some time. Yoongi, done. Now give me my watch back. Jimin, wait, let me guess what happened with you, he said, and start to think. Yoongi is singing how much Jimin is. For this later. For now, give me my watch back. Jimin, oh, this is still left. And now also you are at me. Oh my Jimin, you will. He dramatically said, and Yoongi smiled to see him. Yoongi drama king. He mumbled, Jimin, okay. Tell me not what I do now, Yoongi. I said you take rest. What you are doing downstairs? Jimin, oh, I was making breakfast, Yoongi. I said no, Jimin, it's okay now. And moreover, I don't let you eat someone else's handmade food. Yoongi, really? Jimin, hey, I want you with me. Yoongi, oh, really? I am already. He said and rolled his eyes. Jimin, really? Yoongi, him and Jimin make up out. Yoongi, don't talk with me. Jimin, Mr. Min, don't do this. You still don't know my skills. He said at him. Yoongi didn't say anything. Go downstairs. Jimin, huh? He make up out and himself go downstairs behind him. And sure, your Yoni is feeling so sleepy. But still, I have so much voiceover left. Yoongi come downstairs. He see his mom and his brother come. And his brother come. They are meeting. Rohan see Yoongi and went to him. Rohan, how are you, Yoongi? Fine, brother. Fine, brother. And you, Rohan, in front of you. Sana, hello, Yoongi Hyung. Yoongi, hello, Sana. How are you? Sana, fine, Hyung. And then Yoongi meets with Lil Jin Hyung. Yoongi, hey, buddy. Jin Hyung, hey, best friend. Both do high five. Mr. and Mrs. Min is so happy. Jimin come downstairs. Yoongi see him. He stand on the side. Rohan. He is Jimin, right? Jimin, hello. He smiles. Sana, it's me. I hear right. You are beautiful. Well, I call you Jimin. Jimin, haha, sure you can. They meet with each other. Jimin say, Lil Jehan. Jimin, hey, cutie. Jin, hey. He said, everyone shocked. Jimin, huh? He is just He is just like this. Yoongi, he is also like this. He said and rolled his eyes. Jimin sighed. Jimin, boy, huh? Jin, so no, it's true. When I become, will you meet Jimin happily? Yoongi, hey, he is already. Jin, but now he said yes, so now he said and hold Jimin hand. Jimin chuckled to see them. Mrs. Min, you all sit. They all sit. Jin Hyun is in Jimin and Jimin is talking with him. Yoongi continuously. Sana, I said when we go on the but he don't listen me. He said to Jimin, Jimin, both brothers are like this, he said, and Yoongi looked at him. Jimin at him and his son, Rohan Hyung, got right person well, Sana. Right, you know, Jimin, I believe only you can handle. Jimin, yeah, I proudly said, Sana, Sana, you are a really friendly person. Sana, it's so nice. What is that? It's so nice to meet you. Jimin, me too. Mrs. Jimin, go and arrange the breakfast. Jimin, okay. Sana, I help you. Jimin, it's okay. I do. Sana, no, no, I help you. Half, it's still 20, wait, 30, 10, 10, 20, 24 minutes voiceover. 26 minutes voiceover still left. In a dining table, Jimin is placing the plates. Sana, so Jimin, how's auntie? Jimin look at her. Jimin, I need to tell you. Sana, don't said she is same with you also. Jimin also means she's like this with you also. Sana, of course. You know, Rohan listen his mom. Because of her, we take that big step. Jin Hyun come. Otherwise, I personally don't have any plan. Jimin, why you go London? I mean, Jin Hyun is Sana sign Sana. The story is so long. Jimin, we talk later about this. Sana, you know, Jimin, it's good if Yoongi Hyung and you stay in another house. Jimin, I don't set anything here, Sana, as Yoongi is already doing so much for me. He is going his parents because of me, Sana. He have to Jimin, you know, Rohan. In this, he change and he decide decide to go London and see we are spending our life happily. Jimin hopes so. I also stay happy. I don't want to his parents, but they understand just Sana. This is what I also want. But sometimes when I talked with Auntie. I think it's impossible. Jimin, let's see what happened. He said, and everyone come. They sit on the chair. Jinhyun, Jimin, can I sit with you? Jimin, sure, come here. He said, and he sits beside him. Jimin serve him. Jimin, Jinhyun, no, I eat. He smiled and he looked at Yoongi. Jimin, but Yoongi didn't give him any answer. Jimin, if you don't talk with me, I don't do. First he said, and Yoongi is eating silently. Jimin about to stand up. And here I am changing my side. Okay. His hand on and said him to sit. Yoongi, you will. Jimin, I would too. Yoongi, do breakfast. He said, and Jimin started to play with the food. Jinhyun, Jimin, why you are not eating? Sana, Jinhyun, how can you call him Jimin? Jimin, hey, it's okay. You can call me whatever you want. Jinhyun smiled. Jimin, he said and placed his hand. Yoongi, Jimin, this. Jimin, Yoongi looked at him and gave him Jimin makeup out, and he started to eat the breakfast. Time skip. They done with the breakfast. Yoongi go from there. Jimin, Rohan, your brother is such a seriously. He is at me, Rohan. Thank God. I am happy at least. He started to show Jimin now. He do extra. He said, Azan. He said, and Sana understand. Both do high five. Rohan, I am not understanding you both. He goes, Sana, why I am feeling like you want son to be. Jimenez, what I am doing, I am for sure. She said, he said, and she smiled. What I do here? Jimin and Sana come in the living room. He see Mr. Min is talking with Yoongi, who sits there silently. Sana, Jinhyun, you go and play in lawn. He said, she said, Jango, as he nodded and go, Sana, what is happening is Jimin. Don't know, Mr. Min. Now, this is your decision. What you do. So Mr. Min said him, he is the rules. He don't do this, but he said Jimin can't follow all this. It's for him. And now they gave him two choices. He stay here or he take Jimin or go like Rohan. But they give chance to Rohan. They don't give him. Rohan, dad, please. Mrs. Min, Rohan, but mom, Young is right. Even it's for Sana. Sana come from a still. And dear Jimin Hyung, he can't do this. And now, mom, see the time. Change with the see all this. See all this. Mr. Min, tell us, Yoongi, what you decide. Jimin went to Yoongi. Yoongi looked at him and stand up. Yoongi, we are going in another house, Jimin. Go and pack your stuff. he said, and Jimin is shocked. Moreover, Jimin, no, Yoongi, listen. I follow the rules. It's okay. Yoongi, we are going, Jimin. Rohan, it's enough, Dad. If this is your choice, then we are also going back. Hyung, don't stay here. What I do? Yoongi, Rohan, you don't go anywhere. Rohan, I always listen, you Hyung, but not this. Please, I go back London. Yoongi, you stay here. Rohan, but Hyung, Yoongi for me. He said, and Rohan stay silent. He go in his room. Sana go behind him. Yoongi. Jimin and Yoongi come in the room. Yoongi start to pack his and Jimin thinks. Jimin see him. This is the place Yoongi is from childhood. This is his Yoongi. This is their room. How can they go like this? Jimin Yoongi. He call him and turn him. Yoongi see him and shiver him. Jimin, everything become alright. Yoongi, don't meet Jimin. Jimin, I will never Yoongi. I promise everything become alright. Uncle, auntie understand soon. He said, and Yoongi looked at him. Yoongi, He started to help Yoongi in packing. They packed the things. Rohan, come. Rohan, Yoongi looked at him. Yoongi, Rohan, come. Rohan, come. Jimin, you both talk. He go from the room. Rohan, let me go, Yoongi, after that, mom, dad will be Rohan. Rohan, this is how they understand you. They are our. Now for sometimes we have to do this. He said, and Yoongi nodded. Yoongi, I understand what you want to do, Rohan. Rohan, I just come home. I don't want to go back. Can we come with you, Yoongi? Why? You are asking how you remember our time skip. Time skip in living room. 40 पे खत्म होना है. No. Time skip in living room. Mr. and Mrs. Min sit. They all talking. They all stand there. Jimin, Yoongi, please. Yoongi, trust me, Jimin. He said, and Jimin nodded. Yoongi didn't say anything. He take Jimin and go. Rohan, we are going, Mom, Dad. Both are silent. Mrs. Min is looking at them. And then Mr. Min, who sits like a Rohan, take care, he said, and he goes, Sana, Mom. Mrs. Min looked at her Sana. Trust us, we you so much. If you are my mom, you are Jimin. Like he is like this. She said, and she go. Mrs. Min looked at her, and then Mr. Min. She didn't say anything. What she said, she go in her room when she see the house like this. And here it's almost 2 a.m. Only 2 minutes left. Time skip. Time skip. They come. They come in another room. In another house. Jimin come. He see Yoongi. He went to him and to him. Yoongi, his face in his Jimin, I am here with you. Yoongi, Jimin, Jimin want to sleep. Yoongi, he said, and both. Jimin sleep well, he said, and his hand is roaming in his ears. Jimin, I promise Yoongi, I don't your parents from you. I do every possibility they understand us. You do so much for me. Now it's my turn, and I know what I have to do. He think and he looked at Yoongi, who is sleeping peacefully. He himself sleep after some times. He wake up and he fresh up. Yoongi is still sleeping, so he go downstairs to make the dinner. Jimin come downstairs. He see Sana. Jimin, you are here? Sana, making dinner. Jimin, I help you. Sana, sure. Both start to make the dinner. Sana, how's young Jimin? He is not showing, but I know he's. Sana, Rohan never stayed that much silent, Jimin. I don't know what I do. I am so confused and Jimin, same here, Sana. I want they change, not they. Sana, same Jimin. You don't believe. I said Rohan many times. We come back, but he always said you can follow the rules. You can stay on our for this. That was really Jimin. Jimin right, Sana, but still on the same thing. What we do, Sana, I am feeling like we can't do anything. Jimin, for now, let's focus on them and think. We think what we have to do. Sana, alright. Skip, they all sit in the dining table. Yoongi and Rohan is silent. Jinhyun, Dad, Rohan, yes. Jinhyun, why we come here? Where is Granny and Grandpa? Rohan, we meet them soon. You do the dinner, he said, and he nodded. Jimin looked at Yoongi, who is eating silently. They do the dinner. This is the third last scene. 43 is the start. Okay, so 12 minutes. Jimin his Jimin is in his room. He is not swelling from morning. Yoongi is in office. He thought when Yoongi come, he'd tell him, but there is still time to Yoongi come. He is again and again. He don't eat much and also feeling. Sana, Jimin, she come and see Jimin. Sana, Jimin, what happened? You okay? Jimin, Sana, can you call Yoongi and send him come home? Sana, you okay? Jimin, I don't know. Please said him come. He said and Sana nodded. He called Yoongi and said him come home. Within 30 minutes, Yoongi come. Yoongi, Jimin, what happened? Jimin, say him, Jimin, I don't know, Yoongi. I am feeling so. Yoongi, wait, I call. He said, and Jimin stays silent. He called Yoongi, Rohan also come. Rohan, everything is alright. He said. Then he called them. They come and Jimin is sleeping peacefully. Congratulations, Mr. Min. He is all fine. Give him healthy food and this, he said, and Yoongi can't believe. Rohan, thank you. He go, Rohan. Young, congratulations. He Yoongi is so happy. He can't believe. They beg Yoongi. I am so happy, Rohan. Rohan, me too, for you. Sana, congratulations, Young. And now I take care of Jimin. Jinhyun, what happened? Yoongi, now I decide I drama with Jinhyun. Jinhyun, but I with him. Yoongi, no, no, there is no chance. They all chuckle. Rohan, let Jimin take some rest. We come after some time, he said and go. Yoongi is so happy. Jimin is sleeping peacefully. He sits on the bed. Hmm. He sits on the bed. Yoongi, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jimin. I am so happy. He sat on his forehead. After some time, he fresh up. When Jimin opened his eyes, he see Yoongi sit him. He placed his head in his. Yoongi see and smile. Yoongi, you wake up. Jimin, Yoongi, you okay? Jimin, what happened with me? He asked and looked at Yoongi. Yoongi, we are going to be. You are, he said, and his eyes widened. He looked at Yoongi with shocked eyes. He sit on the bed. Jimin, me, and Yoongi nodded, and Jimin in happiness. Jimin, I am so happy. Yoongi chuckled to see him. Yoongi, me too. Thank you, Jimin. Thank you so much. Jimin looked at him. Jimin, Yoongi, we have to do something. We have to do so many things. Shopping. And also we ready the room. And also Yoongi, relax. We do everything, but for now I have to take your I have to take rest. Jimin smiled. Jimin, I am so excited, Yoongi. Let's call auntie, he said, and Yoongi smiled. Yoongi, I wish to have a Jimin. I know. Listen me. Skip a lot. Time skip. Second last scene. Time skip. A lot of time passed. Jimin is giving to Yoongi like everything he wants. Like every time he wants something for each. Not food. Sometimes he wants ice cream and sometimes snacks. Once he said he wants onion with vanilla ice cream, and literally he ate. Now also he sit on the couch with his hand on Yoongi. Yoongi, but you said you want chocolate ice cream. Jimin, I said I want extra chocolate ice cream. What is this, huh, Yoongi? I bring extra chocolate. You add as much you want. Jimin, huh? Then okay. He sang in real life when he heard a voice. Yoongi eyes widened. Yoongi, what happened? Jimin, you a lot. I know you me anymore. Yoongi, no way, Jimin. Who said you? Who said you this? Jimin, you, I know you are from me. I promise now. I become good boy. He said and looking down. Yoongi, no. It's not like that. Jimin, no problem. He said and Yoongi is thinking what he do. But then Jimin grabbed the ice cream and started to eat. Jimin, why I am with me in your choice. It's your choice. He said, and peacefully eating ice cream. And Yoongi smiled. He don't feel he is enjoying this time. Both are sitting when two persons enter in the living room. Yoongi see them. He stand up. They are none other than Mr. and Mrs. Min. Jimin sit there eating ice cream. He stopped. Mrs. Min see her son. She went to him and him without thinking twice. She started. Mrs. Min, that much? At your mom, dad don't even come to meet us. She said, and Yoongi back, Yoongi mom. Huh, said Dan. Hmm, said Dan. Okay, so, hmm. Mrs. Min back and look at him. Mrs. Min, you don't even ask from me what is my mom. How can you do this? This is the second last scene and the third last text. You do this, Yoongi. Yoongi, I'm sorry, mom. Mrs. Min, we are here for. Mr. Min, we are here for. Saying, son, please come back. Without you and Rohan, the house. We realized that we don't such anything, Yoongi, dad. Don't said this. You can us do whatever you want. Just we want to change a little bit. Mr. Min. Mr. Min, come home, son. Mrs. Min, I am here to take you along, my son and daughter. She said as Rohan also come and meet meet them. They second last and third last text. They all are so Sana is the one who called them. Mrs. Min sees Jimin who is eating ice cream fastly so he can meet with them. Mrs. Min, Jimin is Yoongi. He's Ma. It's been 6 months. He said, and she become happy. Jimin looked at her with his big blue eyes. Mrs. Min, I am so happy, my son. Me, Jimin, I do. He said cutely and meet with her. Mrs. Min, you don't even tell me. She said with the why they tell her, Jimin, I promise. I said Jungi. He said no. You ask you from him. He said cutely and Mrs. Min chuckled. Mrs. Min, I trust you, son. Mr. Min, I have. Now I want ya. Jimin, but if it's Mrs. Min, then also I am happy. She said and smiled. Mrs. Min, let's go home. Let's go back, son. Your mom is waiting for you. She said, and they both heard me. Their dad, Jimin and Sana smiled to see each other. It's Jimin and Sana plan to call Mr. and Mrs. Min and talk with them. So Sana called her and finally they realized and now come to take them. And here is the last. Hmm. So doing voiceover is not a small thing. Like you all can see, I am speaking from last 55 minutes. Time skip in last scene and the last text. Time skip in main mention. The living room is full with the giggle as Jin Hyung and Yoonji is playing Yun. Jin Hyung gave me this toy. Jin Hyun, no, this is my Yun. Granny, see, he's not giving me his toy. Mrs. Min Jin Hyun, son, share chores with your sister Min Jun. You always do this. Take her side, you not me. Yoonji's true, Mrs. Min. Jimin, I am saying Yoongi. It's a fault at all. Yoongi is not leaving any chance to her Young. Yoongi and Rohan come. They both run and sit. Min mention as well with the happiness and your unit sleepy. Bye. Which bye?